Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the CCN Credentialed Media crew. We need to do this more often. We need to have a conversation where we can discuss what it is we're planning to do, the strategy we're going to use to get there, and so that we can get there. Our objective is to share information, but today we just heard how your president is doing all that he can do to stop the educational process, and we can't allow him to do that. You all, we cannot allow him to do that. We work too hard to get where we at. Our foreparents worked too hard to get where we at. So let's take a moment and everybody introduce themselves, and then we're going to get into the meat of the discussion, which is getting our credentials recertified for those that want to do that, because I'm only interested in those, in working with those that want to be credentialed. And that means you're going to take some responsibility for making sure that the area of industry that you are covering, whatever you say you're going to report about, you're going to cross police lines and fire lines to get information on. That means I expect for you to have something in this office every week. And the website belongs to us. It should represent our capacity to report on what's going on in our community. And that's around the globe, because the internet has leveled the playing field. I'm Wanda Carter, your host, and I see we have quite a few on the line. So let's start with, I guess this would be Miss Gray.
Okay.
Can you introduce
Hello.
yourself, please? Thank you.
No problem. Hello, my name is Miss Gray.
Thank you, Miss Gray.
No problem. Hello, my name is Miss Gray. I became familiar with Mr. Carter over 30 years ago through an organization called the Majestic Eagles. It was a nationwide organization, and I was asked to come off of maternity leave to work on a project with him and the president of the Chicago chapter. And that's when I became aware of Mr. Carter and worked with him off and on, even after I had my child, and got to know Mrs. Carter during that time also. I actually believe when I was working on my first patent.
Thank you. What'd you get a patent in?
My first patent was denied. My second patent was just filed through John Marshall Law School grant. And I just spoke with Washington. I should find out whether the second one goes through before next summer.
That's excellent. So you're going to be teaching us how to get patents. All right. Thank you, Miss Gray. Miss Gray,
no problem,
for a long time. And I call her the mayor of Brownsville, because anything that's going on down there, she's on it. She's on top of it. So I asked her, you worked with Morgan for a long time till he left here. Come work with the organization that he worked with, and let's make sure that we continue to get the information out there. Thank you so much. All right. And thank you. Can we go to iPhone? Okay, who's iPhone?
That would be. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Yes.
Okay, my major is photography. Okay, but I'm also working toward. I'm going to work towards getting a law degree to start an exoneration project, not just in my own backyard in Illinois, but specifically I want to spread it abroad, like in the Jim Crow Southern states.
Oh,
okay,
right.
like South Carolina and even Texas.
Oh, that's cool. That's fairly wrong, Brian.
Brian, be careful. They shoot at you in Texas. They have no problem doing it. It is still the Wild Wild West.
Oh, wow. Okay, Sister Levette.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm Levette Haynes. I'm Executive Director of Westside Cultural Arts Council, arts partner with the Chicago Park District, also a member of the Garfield Park Advisory Council, chair the Restoration Committee over 184 acres of natural resources at Garfield Park, and I'm also cultural arts and culture journalist for the Chicago Communicator News Media, and have been affiliated with this wonderful media for 30 years.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, I got old timers with me.
You mean
Yeah.
who?
We've been
What?
around for
Oh,
a long time, okay? I ain't the only old timer here, okay? Let's see. Lawanza, welcome back, Lawanza.
Well, hello, Wanda, and
How you
the
doing?
rest of the media crew. Yeah, I've been on the hiatus for a bit, couple
Yeah.
years. Glad to be back.
Oh man, we glad to have you back. Folks was asking about where is Lawanza?
Oh, last year I'm telling you, I got to my sleep apnea got so bad, I couldn't work or anything. It was hard to function. And I started getting noticed I started getting sugar, so I started trying to eat vegetarian. And down the street from me, they give out fruit and vegetables, and I noticed this year my sleep apnea started going away, and so I kind of went vegetarian. I eat a little meat, so my joints don't hurt. But yeah, now I think I'm feel fresh and I'm ready to return back to the working world.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can, could reconnect. Hey, I go back to 2000, I think, in 5 or 6,
Yeah.
with Wanda and Morgan Carter when y'all was living in the home. Y'all had just bought it on Morgan Street.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
that?
Ooh-wee. Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, yeah. The floor. If you'd have put a marble on the floor, that marble would have had swung all the way to the other side. You remember that?
Oh, I do. I do remember that. Yes, sir.
Remember that? Well, yeah, that and they were real good with me. I was going to school to change careers. I used to work in the chemistry lab, and I decided to go to computer science. And they real nasty and funky up there in higher education. I was a good student, got a good grade, but they harass you. Allowed me to print a couple articles in the Communicator, and they started backing off. These schools say, "Hey, he's with the media," and I got a reputation for that. And so, yeah, it's been a good connection. Uh, Being hooked up with the Communicator. Yeah, I hope to, rejoin and we do some, upstanding and great things moving
Thank
forward.
you all. I really appreciate hearing from each of you. It is such a blessing to work with people that you've known over the years, and that if you're still working with them, that means that we've grown to respect one another and appreciate the skills that we each bring to the table. And so for 2026, CCN News Media is going to restructure the way we do business. Yes, we want to get the news out. Yes, we want to help everybody we can. But this is a business in the business of making news a worthy summation for people. People need to know what they're not being told by mainstream media, a lot of things that really impact the way we live our lives. Mainstream media is not telling you because they are owned by the 1%. In my mind, it's very important for us to have Black media because
Yes,
we're going to tell the truth. We're going to
exactly.
tell the story the way the story should be told because it's about us.
Right, and like you say, mainstream media, they're owned by literally corporate. They're owned by corporate America.
Yep, they are. They are. And so they can only report what they're told to report. You got some whistleblowers out there that will take you deep and show you what's really going on. Well, we need to be those whistleblowers. So people begin to come to us. Remember how people used to go to the defender when it was up and down there on 22nd Street, and people knew they could call the defender, they could call NAACP, they could call WBON, they could call Push, and they could get the word out. But they had to pay. Okay? Those organizations are nonprofits, but they made money. Yes, ma'am.
Have we finished the introductions?
Oh, I thought, did I miss somebody? I'm so sorry. Who did I miss? You did. I didn't miss you, did I?
No.
Who did I miss? Anybody? Is anybody on here that I did not let introduce themselves? Okay.
Margot Richmond.
Oh, Margot. Let me see them numbers. I can't tell. Okay. Welcome to the show, Margot.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Margot Richmond, and I've been around for a while. I do insurance, but I will be writing articles and topics on housing and homelessness. So that's what I will be covering.
Thank you. And Mike, you said that you're an insurance agent. So tell people how they can contact you if they need insurance.
Well, I can put it in the intro of it. But my name is Margot Richmond. My phone number is 773-558-1163.
Put that in the chat for us. Okay. So let's look at the agenda. I sent the agenda at the bottom of the invitation. Did you guys get to look at it? Did you understand it? Let's talk about what the Chicago Police Department requirements are for credentials.
I didn't hear Sandra introduced.
Oh, didn't you introduce yourself, Sandra? I thought you did. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to help Mike. He can't get in.
Oh,
and I don't know what's going on. And he's trying to get in.
He can't get in, you said?
Right. He can't get. It's not letting him in.
Okay. So tell
I
me.
just resent my link.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure. Who was that said they didn't hear me introduce? Who was that?
We didn't hear you.
Hi, my name is Sandra Campbell. What did I say? I don't have 30 years experience with the paper. I've only got a few years. More so, we did shows. We didn't do a lot of writing with the paper. I've done a lot when Wanda was doing the actual shows in the studio. And we all came up with, and we're part of the original Woman to Woman group, which was something that we did in conjunction with ECTV. Had a great time. I will be doing, I guess you would say, civic and political articles to include videos and other information like that. And hopefully I'll get a chance also to do some gardening stuff with Lavette, because that's something I do. We are doing, and something I enjoy doing, especially now since we got to grow our own fruits and vegetables because we can't afford to buy them, and they're not going to be available.
Yeah, you're right. Your president say, "Hey, you folks, y'all, you got if you get the link card, you gotta work 20 hours to get it." So
80
hours?
80 hours a month.
Oh, it's 20 hours a week.
20 hours a week, 80 hours a month.
Suppose you're only getting $23. You still got to do that?
Yeah.
Well, you better put in an application for a real job.
Yeah, we say for SNAP, you know about for SNAP benefits you're talking about? He wants you to do what? 80 hours. It's not worth 80 hours a week, but okay. 80 hours a month. It's not worth 80 hours a month. Okay. I mean, with the price of groceries, you're not, yeah, like she said, you might as well try to apply for a real job. or grow
Well,
some of
you
the
have,
stuff that you have.
Absolutely, Sandra.
excuse me, this is
Yeah.
Miss Gray. You have some seniors and people who are disabled, and yes, some of them only get $10 a month.
What?
And so, yeah,
But
this
The
has
what
been
about
going
age,
on
the
for
age
decades.
goes up. The
but
age
what
does
about
go up
that
to
card?
64.
Yeah, yeah, right.
They,
It goes up to what, 64, you
I've
said,
heard of
Levette?
that before.
I'm sorry, Levette, what did you say?
I said the age cuts off. It used to be 54. Now it's 64. And the issue also is that if you are if you're disabled, you don't have to. If you're homeless, you don't have to. There's some specifications that people really need to look into to see if they can bypass that. And then, because we have been chosen to be one of those organizations to accept those that are looking for hours. So, it doesn't have to be a horrible thing. So we're gonna make it where they can receive dignity from the things that they do,
Yes.
and also the issue is if you're going to do that, that means that you gotta pay at least $5 to $6 a day just to get where you're going.
Right.
So it's like, where's the stipend for the transportation? So it's a lot of advocacy that's going to go into how that works out because people are already getting cut. Food stores are laying off people, and I know Living Fresh Market. I think is Living Fresh Market over in uh, uh, River Forest around Roosevelt in Des Plaines. They're going to be giving food away because they know that this is a hardship for a lot of people. So on this Saturday, they're going to be giving away um, food to people that are going to have some hard times by this.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, can
Also,
can I ask something? This is Lawanda. I want to ask something now.
Yeah.
Um, for the folks who are getting SNAP, the food stamps. Well, what kind of work are they having them do? And also, there's another way of looking at it. For those who, if you're getting SNAP, obviously, you most likely don't have a job. Doesn't that, if you got to work someplace, doesn't that kind of give you um, an employment reference and something to use when you do look for a job? I mean, you have to take a negative and try to turn it into a positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
I
This is
agree with
true.
you. I agree with you 100% because you can also
excuse
go to
me.
school.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Well, you
I'm
do
gonna
have
tell you
people that
something.
are working, but they're
Uh-huh.
not making enough money.
correct.
So
That's what I was
there's,
about to say. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. I remember back in 1990. I was getting I was getting stamps and working, and let me tell you something. If I was getting unemployment and working, and just for people to know, I don't know how it works today. If you are getting unemployment first, and then you try to get stamps, they say, well, you can't have it because you already got money coming in. But if you went and got your stamps first, let's say you find yourself out of a job, and you went and applied for stamps, and they gave you that, and then you went to get your unemployment, you could get your unemployment and have both at the same time. And it was legal.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It
see, I
depends on
think
the order that you did it in.
this is what you're mixing up. What you can do for the state, and that's another thing to bring into this. What you can do, what the state will allow you to do, receive your SNAP benefits, is different from what the president is pushing down with eliminating SNAP from a federal standpoint. Because that at that time there was no hold or no restrictions on SNAP or receiving it. It was the state that makes up those rules. The state also makes up the rules as to what you can get because some people who collect unemployment can also work, long as it doesn't exceed what you should be getting weekly. And then some
Well,
people,
I'm only
if they
referring
had
to
kids,
1990.
well,
I
I'm
don't know
saying
what's
if they
happening today.
if they had kids, they could still get SNAP benefits too. But what he's doing now is, like you said, they're taking away SNAP from individuals with disabilities. Some of these people, their parents are taking care of them and they qualify for this stuff. And like Lavette just said, he's saying before it was like, the cutoff for something was 54. After 54, you automatically receive it. He's now pushed that age up to 64. That's terrible because I know a bunch of people who became disabled after 57 and 55 and 56 years old, and 55 is still considered a senior by all business levels. So it's a terrible thing. And you're telling people to go to work. If they had money to go to work, they probably wouldn't need SNAP. How do you go to a volunteer? It costs you to go to these places. But there is also something here in the city of Chicago, well, actually Illinois, the northern part of Illinois, I'll say that, with the RTA. So if you know someone that's caught up in this mess, have them contact, especially if they have a disability. If you have diabetes, if you have hypertension, you are considered disabled in this program. If you have a psoriatic site, what is psoriatic? Sciatic,
Sciatica.
no. This is a
Sciatic
form
neuropathy,
of
something like that.
arthritis. It's a form of arthritis. If you have that arthritis or
Yeah, I hear
rheumatoid
that.
arthritis, that qualifies. So contact RTA for it. It's a program for people with disabilities. There's no age restriction. You don't have to take your medical information up there. When you do the assessment, they will pick you up from your home, take you to the nearest location, do the assessment there, and return you to your home. So you don't have to even pay to get there. Um, and that's through the U.S. Department of Transportation. So if you know someone who's caught in this situation, again, who has to be at work, who has a disability, because it's going to be hard for those folks at times, including lupus. All these things. There are a lot of, if the person is, again, like I say, autism is not always. There are people who work with autism and they receive that, and there are people again with psycho emotional disorders that are in that age group that he's going to be cutting those SNAP benefits. He's going to be doing that to them. So if you know someone, ask them to use that program. It is available.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
you guys, thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that.
I
Uh,
I, I want to I want to say one more thing, about the food stamps, and I don't know if it still applies. Again, this was back in 1990, in the early 90s. At that time, you could take as many as 5 credit hours in the JCs in and around the city. I don't know if that still applies now, what their rules are about that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
No,
it still
no,
applies.
no, it doesn't.
okay.
You
No,
said
it
what,
doesn't.
Brian?
It's not Ryan, it's Michael. No, it doesn't.
I'm sorry. Hey, Mike.
It doesn't apply. I just left. It doesn't apply if you're in school. I'm in school. You must be in school on work study or volunteer for someone. And only certain companies they pick. You have to have all of your credentials right. They also have, I've been in and out of a bunch of meetings on Thursday because I'm on HUD VASH, which
Can't
is
hear you.
hmm?
she can't
Can't hear
hear
you.
I don't know how to turn this up.
you.
Okay, just speak up a little bit.
I'm on HUD VASH, which is housing for veterans, and I was under the homeless veteran status. So on Monday, my VA counselor came and told me I should go to legal counsel for free because now what this administration and people are kind of focusing on what they know versus the new laws
What
that
is?
they have put into place. So now
Mm.
there's 4 different statuses for veterans. And the VA person came and told me on Monday. And I'm like, whoa, I wasn't supposed to see you. And she was like, well, on Thursday, next Thursday, they're having a special meeting at the VA hospital. So they also have changed the veteran status. So if you serve like I did from 84 and my end date was August, right before September 9/11, then you didn't serve in a war. All of your military status has been revoked. You're just
Oh,
a
wow.
veteran.
Oh,
You're
wow.
not, unless you got injured, have some type of disability, then you can't qualify. I can't even get my veteran's ID, even though I have 3 honorable discharges, 1
Wait
from
a
the Air
minute.
Force and 2 from the Navy.
Oh my God.
And so, you know
So,
what, Mike, I was thinking that before you said that, and you are absolutely right. You were saying that, because we are talking, some of us are speculating me on what I've heard, and and what Sandra is was sharing is what the differences are between now and some of the things Lawan's is saying. And so it would be a great
Uh-huh.
opportunity to have some expert to come in and share in a community forum, because there's a lot of people just don't know, and that is something that Wanda and I can do over at the Gold Dome. We can have a community meeting for those that are not aware of all of the criteria.
Oh, I love you,
So
Lavette.
so Wanda and I will work and find out who's qualified. Mike, you know quite a bit. Sandra, you know quite a bit. Whoever knows something specifically, we can bring them in the discussion, but also bring in some career person that really knows what's going on. So we'll work on that, and I think that maybe in the next few weeks we can do that over at the Gold Dome.
well, the underlying issue that nobody's really paying attention to is under the Obamacare. So he's undoing everything that Obama and realistically Biden just followed the Obama script. So he's saying Biden, but he's actually aiming at everything that Obama did. And here's the other
Mm-hmm.
thing that nobody is paying attention. I've been in the trades since 1984. That was my reason for joining the Air Force as a reservist and the National Guard under the Navy. That was even what they told us. And now, even at the VA, they're saying that they don't know what's going on, but they're not honoring those contracts from that time period right now. This is more important than a
35.
lot of the stuff people want to focus on. And then the crazier part is, as a combat construction engineer for both the Air Force and Navy, I can't qualify for any of the jobs that's at your state rep office or the alderman's office because I don't have a felony.
Say what?
I can't apply
Because
for
you
those
don't have a
jobs
felony?
because I don't have a felony.
Who
And
told you that?
everything,
That's
who says
crazy.
that?
Yeah.
The alderman's office. This is something I've been
Okay,
doing.
the alderman staff, they are appointed. So when she loses or he loses, they don't have a job. They're not really city employees. But I don't she doesn't they don't get to circumvent city hiring processes. So if I were you, I'd take
This
that
is
to City
before
Hall.
Sandra. I remember when I was working with Reverend Sampson and all the pastors came together and they said, "What about these guys?" It's been that way since I filled out the grant and was teaching at Reverend Sampson's place. And then Reverend Sampson got mad at me because I was taking the students out in the neighborhood to do work. And he was like, "They can't leave here. What are you doing?" And it's like, you can't learn construction
Well, we
on a computer.
well we can talk
So
about.
that has been, it just didn't start. It
I
has been
agree
for a
with
long
that
time.
wholeheartedly.
Well,
My
we can
uncle's
talk
owned a
about
construction company.
that one offline because I can tell you now that that didn't happen in 16th Ward nor in the 14th. So, but yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy as heck.
Well, I know in the
Yeah,
wild
yeah, yeah. I
hundreds.
wanna y'all need to look at the text. I did look it up, and if you receive SNAP, you can get some college credits, paid for. But it's stipulations. It didn't used to be that way, but it is now.
Yep. You must. You must do college work study. And here's the trick, because 9 out of 10 working individuals are taking college courses online. So if you're taking college courses online, again, my whole process, I did this today at 11 o'clock. That's what I was doing. So I went to
What-
Northeastern and they were saying, well, you have to go to our college in order to do the college work study.
Well, hey, what do you want to take some college classes? Is that what you want to do?
I have to. I have 20 years of experience in building airports, runways,
I want to talk
and
to you, dude. What do you
emergency.
know about computers? I'm a software engineer. What do you know about that?
What I know about computers is back in the day, I built Hackintoshes. I know Linux. I know Apple
Okay, well,
OS.
me and you need to have a conversation. I'm gonna give my number to you, and you military vet, right?
Yep. And I just
Okay.
finished my Azure 104 and 900. And again, this is something that
Oh, you
people
did?
don't.
Okay, well, listen here. I know a place if you are a vet, cold platoon. If you're a vet or if you're a child of a vet. My dad was a Korean War vet, and because of that, I can get cold platoon to pay for me certification program. Let's wrap, man, and I'm gonna try to see if I
Well,
can do if you're
and
interested.
I just wanted to finish that because this is the part that nobody's paying attention to. Yes, those things exist, but working, this is my life experience, but working at Roseland Hospital, the max they would give me was $19 an hour. That's the max they're giving. I remember in 1984, I was like, man, I want to be a forklift driver. Because in 84 through the 90s, as a forklift driver, you was getting $25 to $30 an hour. Now, as a forklift driver, you're getting $20 an hour. That they all, once the minimum wage was raised, all the companies lowered how much they were paying for jobs. What they did is the whole middle class, and nobody's paying attention to this. What they
Was that a
did,
union job with forklifting anything with a union?
no,
No
no.
FLCIO, I didn't think so.
And here's the other part to that. So, just like when I came out the Azure, every job that I looked at, none of it was above $20 an hour. And I'm a combat construction engineer. I can build a runway. I can fix the truck. We had to know how to do that because when the SEALs go out, I'm a CB. I'm with the SEALs because they got to come back to Tent City. Tent City is where is the headquarters. I go with them. This is the part that nobody is looking at or thinking about because they're under the idea that, oh, these guys. No, if you're not lighted in a paper bag, it ain't happening.
Well, maybe that's one of the things that you could write about and you could put in there for the veterans. I would tell you that coming from VA, and even if you're talking with VBA, like they said, you guys, it's going to be the veterans that have to fight this and get this change because again, he
Yeah,
didn't do
that
this.
happens
He
next
didn't do
Thursday.
this lawfully. He did not. He did not do this lawfully. And like they said, your contracts are binding. He doesn't get to just willy nilly do an executive order and make that contract null and void. But at the same time, military people are some of the most who are resistant to go against the commander in chief, and that I have never understood. And he's taking advantage of that loyalty. And that's going to be something that maybe you should write about, and you definitely need to organize. You guys have to organize and fight this to get it reversed, because it's an unlawful act anyway. What he did was unlawful.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. We have a newcomer, Mr. Dixon. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, how is everybody? I'm sorry I'm late. Uh, I am fine. Glad
Excellent.
to
Take,
talk to
take, take a
you.
minute and tell people who you are and what you do.
Oh, okay. My name is Milton Dixon. For those who don't know me, I'm a retired Chicago police sergeant. Retired with about 34 years under my belt. Used to work in Cook County as a correctional officer in the old Division One with Warden English back in the day. And I've
Yeah,
just been an
yeah.
advocate of our people
All
and
right.
anybody who's been going through the stuff that we've been going through.
Uh-huh. And that's all of our lives.
And that's all of our lives.
We've been going through. So, well, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on and attending. We appreciate that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready now to go through our agenda? Because when you got the invitation at the bottom, there was an agenda. Did you see that?
I see it.
Uh,
Okay. So let's go there. We did the introductions. Let's look at the Chicago Police Department's requirements for credentials. It's regarding us people who are interested in becoming credentialed with the Chicago Communicator News Media to tell your story and the stories of those that you will cover from your perspective. Being
okay.
credentialed by the newspaper will enable you to cross police lines, fire lines, talk to people that are having incidents, had an incident, had an accident, whatever. And you can go, and if you're covering issues with the police department or criminals, then and you have and there's a workshop going on at somewhere downtown, you would be able to use your press pass to go in and do a story on that workshop if you chose to do that. So the credentials are a powerful piece of that's powerful. And for you to have that, you can do a lot of things with that. You can cover things that other people cannot just walk up to the officer and ask them what's going on, but you can. So I'd like to know if I know that a number of you on the line are already credentialed with Chicago Communicators. It's coming time for us to re-up, but there's going to be a commitment from each of you to do so. Look at what the Chicago Police Department says. Your credentials, you have to be a full-time reporter. So when I get you the credentials, I'm saying you working with Chicago Communicator. And you guys know you're not doing anything full-time. But as far as they're concerned, you are doing it. You're covering your area of expertise full time. You're doing it. When you see something happen, you should feel an obligation to report it. You see, my daughter called me a couple of weeks ago. She was driving on the expressway and she saw this major accident. She calls me and says, "Ma, can I report about this?" I said, "Yes. Tell people what you see. How fast did the ambulance come? Like, just talk about what happened." You want to have that's a powerful position to be in. How many people are interested in doing that? You really got to tell your story. Questions, comments?
Yeah, I got something to say. Yeah, I remember Mr. Morgan used to say public interest stories.
Mhm.
Isn't that right, Wanda?
Mhm.
I learned that phrase from him, and I've used it ever since.
Okay.
And you know that's in what you mentioned is something that is kind of involves sensational type of news
Mm-hmm.
stories. Seeing someone in a bad way and reporting it. But a person with a science and an engineering background. I've been doing a lot of traveling, especially last year, to a lot of conferences and seminars in IT involving Black people, and I'm kind of getting back into my career. I used to be an analytical chemist,
Okay.
and then I pivoted to be a software engineer. I got degrees, went to Northwestern, and you know, it would be good sometimes that we turn our focus to those avenues that are profit making and generate and turn over a buck. And
I
you'll see
agree.
that in manufacturing industry and there is a number of them out there. And those are some of the areas that I would like to direct my attention, and I would strongly encourage others to look in those directions as well,
Yeah.
because that makes us money. And if we want to live in the high tech age, we want to um, kind of think along those
Those lines.
along those ways. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Today, the focus is getting information out. However, how do we do that? Every strategy that we put together is going to include us using the internet, using our cell phones, excuse me, taking photos. Cell phones, pictures are just as good as some of these high-end photo cameras. People are shooting movies with the cell phone. That's what Mike told me. So it's time for us to look at industry. And he's going to be teaching us. When I say he, Mr. Mike Ross is going to teach us how to use the TikTok. I already got something up there, but it's not generating any eyeballs. So I guess I have to do something different. And he's going to show us what to do. Each of you bring us a skill to this table. Let's use those skills to tell our stories. People that are experiencing some of the same things we're experiencing. Then we have the small businesses. People like us that have small businesses need to market and promote what they're doing, from being a chemical engineer to being a foot doctor. They got to tell people where they're at, what they're doing, how much it costs. Let's target those kind of people that can afford to work with us and tell people what they do and how they can get in touch with them, what services they provide. Maybe we have to change the people that we're looking at to help promote what they're doing. Don't we? We got a lot of home-based businesses, but who knows about them? Just the people they come in contact with on a daily basis. Well, now, the internet has widened that field. We can talk to somebody in Angola. Yeah. So if you got something that you can sell to somebody in Angola, then I'm sure they want the cheapest price they can get it. The point is, we need to work together. So now we have a global tool. We can do that. Let's do it. So questions about what the Chicago Police Department wants from us as reporters, journalists, photographers, videographers, creative, technical people. We have to
Um,
be. Go on,
okay,
Brian.
no, yes, ma'am. I mean, I clearly understand. Okay.
Mhm.
The only question now that I have is when can we get our stuff renewed. What's the date?
Okay. So if you agree to the terms that I'm asking you to agree to, then we'll fill out the application. There's going to be a membership fee, $250. You can do it all at once or you can do it over time, but that's part of the commitment that you will be dealing with. There'll be weekly reports. Not, I don't want to hear, I'm working, I didn't have time to do it, because this is a job too. And you should be trying to use it to make money yourself. If you take pictures, you're doing photography, now you got a platform to put those pictures on where you can drive people to your page and share your information. That's also going to be driving them to the media website. So
True,
everything
true.
that you do is going to be right there for people to see your work, showcase your skills, sell you to the public.
Okay, now when do we
We all
sign
know
the?
people around the world, around the country. Let's get them to the table. Why not? Why don't we have somebody from Africa on it? Where Kenya on the show? Have some of y'all been there. I haven't, but you know, we need to bring other folks into the picture. And Milton, you know, you're a police officer. Shoot, I know you know people all around this city that you can help just by talking to them and get them on your show. What kind of information are you going to be sharing? I mean, you're a retired officer, so man, you need to show our brothers, our young brothers, how to talk to officers when they pull them over. You know, that's not the time to be I'm Joe Blow, you know, and asking him, talking to him like he's somebody you don't want to be bothered with. You got to teach them etiquette. Teach them how to talk to officers. What they should
When
be
is
saying.
this membership? I'm sorry, this is Margot. When is this membership due? Starting. What is our actual starting date, and when does a lot of us got expiration dates on? I haven't looked at mine recently, but I think it's this month, right?
Yeah, mine is too. I think all of ours is this month. So we need to, that's why I had the meeting, so you could tell me if you want to renew. If you want to renew under the new guidelines that I put together.
Okay, I'd like to see that. I'd like to have the application sent to me.
Okay.
Okay, can I have Wanda? Can you send me an application as well, please?
Absolutely.
And what I will do, I guess maybe every week until I can get it the full 250 in, I'll send you a little something. I mean,
That's all I'm asking for, a commitment from people that really want to do what this system is going to enable them to do. Okay, we all got things that we're doing.
Okay, well that's a good. At least this is a good start.
Yeah.
Well, Bondi, as you know, mine doesn't expire to November. So
okay. Well, then you ain't got to worry about nothing in November.
Okay. Mine expired mine expired a while ago. So
but shoot. Okay, Ryan, you should have said something a while ago. Shoot, I'm trying to remember what I had for breakfast. I can't keep up with your idea.
okay. Please send me the application.
Oh, so what it is? Okay, so those of you that are interested, make sure I get your contact information. I need your name, address, phone number, email, and a copy of your driver's license or state ID, front and back. Get me that. I'll fill out the top half of the application as the publisher and as the station chief, and I'll send it to you, and you fill out the bottom part of it, send it back to me, and I send it into the police station. They call me back, and they'll call you and let you know when to come in for your fingerprints and ID.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll make sure I'll get that. I'll get my information to you just as quickly as I can. It'll probably be within like a day or two.
Okay. All right. So that I need that information. I cannot fill out the application without what I
Right.
asked you.
Okay.
Information I asked
Okay. I'll send it to you. I'll probably email it to you. So, in all
you. Okay,
likelihood, I'll email it to you.
great. So now, now each of you, those of you that come aboard, you're going to have a page, and you're going to name your page. You're going to design your page, and all your information, video, photos, audio, chats, everything goes on your page. And then you drive people to your page and share your work. They can see your qualifications and whatever it is you're trying to promote, market, or sell.
Okay.
But you have to make
I think
sure.
this is it, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I sent you that. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's for your show. But if you want to be credentialed by the organization, this information on the screen, you probably you printed it on, you printed it.
Was this one?
I can't even see. Look, I
I'm
run
sorry.
focals and membership. Yeah. Yeah. I think you got it.